Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgetstudio.com, and today we are going to do a quick hands-on comparison of the Gionee Elife E6 and the Gionee Elife E7. Gionee Elife E7 has been launched today here in India from Gionee, and when it comes to the pricing, this device has been launched at a price of 29,999, and E6 is already available in the market for a price of approximately 19,000 basically. So in terms of the price, both of these devices are fairly different, and same goes for the hardware as well. And although the design language is little bit same, but it is kind of different on the whole if you actually take a broader look across both of these devices. So we have the devices in the same color, as you can see. We have both of these devices in black color. We have the Gionee Elife E7 and the Gionee Elife E6. In terms of the front profile, if you actually take a look, we can easily notice that the display size is different on both of these phones. So you have 5.5-inch display over here on this device, whereas we have 5-inch of display over here. When it comes to the display technology, we have an IPS LCD display on both of these phones, and again the viewing angles as far as the display is concerned is pretty good on both of these phones, so there is no problem as far as viewing these screens from extreme viewing angles. There is no issue at all. As far as the top design is concerned, or the top part of the phone is concerned, we can easily notice the difference over here as well. So in terms of the edges are much more rounded over here on the E7, whereas on E6 they are kind of flat. Although you have the same kind of buttons, which are again metallic buttons on both of these phones. You have the 3.5mm audio jack. On this side you have the SIM card tray slot, which will accept okay, let me just check the same. I'm not very much confirm about the memory card slot. So this one will accept a micro SIM, as you can see, and the E7 should also accept a micro SIM, and let me just check the same. So maybe we'll do that later on. And let me just open the SIM card tray slot for the E7 as well. So once we open the SIM card tray slot, we can see that this one will accept a micro SIM as well. So both of these phones accept micro SIM. And as far as other things are concerned, let me just show you some other things about this device. So just a second, let me just insert this tray over here. Okay. And over here we can see the design. As far as edges are concerned, on the left hand side they are both flat, although you have a glossy finish on the E7, whereas we have a matte finish on the black version of the E6. As far as the bottom is concerned, the bottom we have the loudspeaker mesh over here, and we have the microphone over here. And again on this device as well, I think it is the same, but we cannot confirm that as of now. It might be two loudspeaker which we have on the edges, and again the design is almost similar on both of the phones, apart from the edges which are rounded on E7, whereas they are flat on E6. If we take a look on this side, on the edges we can see that we have the volume rocker over here on both of these phones, and the volume rocker is a metallic button on both of these phones, which is colored in the same color as per the color of the device. If we take a look over the back side has a 13 megapixel camera on E6, whereas we have a 16 megapixel camera on E6. Both of these cameras are capable of recording high definition video at 1080p as well as at 720p, and you also have a hole over here on both of these devices as for secondary mic, basically for noise cancellation and video chat. You do have LED flash on both of these phones, and the Gionee branding is over here like this, and it is like this. If we take a look over these devices from the back side, we can easily notice that this device has a matte finish. It is kind of fingerprint catchy, but again you won't notice the scratches very easily, because this is a kind of protective layer which we have on this device, so scratches won't be visible very easily. Although on this device as well you have a matte, you have a kind of a protection, but again this device has a matte finish, which will again give you a better grip as compared to the E7 as far as the build quality is concerned. Now if we talk about the specification of these two devices, here we have the front glass display, and again you have the same kind of earpiece on both of these phones, whereas the camera is different. We have a 5 megapixel camera on E6, whereas we have an 8 megapixel camera on E7. And if we talk about the capacitive touch buttons, the capacitive touch buttons which we have on both of these devices are actually on the body of the phone, not within the display. And again both of these phones are running Amigo UI, although the E7 is running a slightly enhanced version of Amigo UI as compared to E6, but again they are fairly the same in terms of the overall design and in terms of the overall UI transition. Both of these phones does not have app drawer, so you cannot access all the apps from the UI, but you will have access to all these home screen, which will list all the applications which you have installed on this device. As far as the storage is concerned, let me just show you the storage scenario and the version of Android which we have running on these two devices. although the E6 is running kind of stock Android UI to an extent, but this device is a little bit more customized in terms of the UI if you actually take a look. So let me just go into the about settings and show you the version of Android now. First of all, so Android version which we have on the E7 is Android 4.2.2 as you can see, whereas the version of Android which is running on E6 is 4.2.1. So there is a slight difference in the version of Android which you will get preloaded onto this device. As far as storage is concerned or smart gestures are concerned, we have smart gestures on both of these phones, and again you have different kind of smart gestures over here. Some of them are similar to the E6, but you have some different kind of smart gestures like double click wake up, you have quick operating gesture as well supported, and you have different kind of gestures over here including some AR gestures which are supported on the E6. As far as other settings are concerned, let me take a look over the storage scenario. So if we go under the storage over here, we can see that both of these devices are different in terms of the storage capacities. This one is a 16 GB version of the E7 which will give you around 11.72 GB available to the user, whereas on the E6 we have the 32 GB version, out of which around 24.65 GB is actually available, and right now because this is a user phone, so we have some data being put onto the phone, so we have around 15.18 GB available. So again, the free storage, if we talk about the same storage model of both of these phones, is going to be the same. So we will get almost the same kind of storage, free storage available on both of these devices. The UI is again same, and again both of these phones are fairly responsive. So E7 is definitely going to be a better phone because it has better specifications. As far as specifications are concerned, we have a 2.2 GHz quad-core processor which is a Snapdragon 800 processor on this device, and again the GPU is also better on this device. So the overall gaming performance or any kind of graphic intensive task or processor intensive task is going to be better on E7 as compared to E6, because E6 has MediaTek 6589 chipset which is a turbo chipset 1.5 GHz quad core, and again both of them have quad core processor, but the quad core processor which we have on this device actually has much better score as far as benchmarks are concerned. As far as battery is concerned, we have a slightly larger battery on this device comparing the display as well. So display is larger, 5.5 inch, whereas this is 5 inch. The battery is also larger, which is 2500 mAh, whereas the battery on this device is 2000 mAh. So there is a difference in the battery as well. As far as the resolution is concerned, both of them are running on the high definition resolution, that is 1080 into 1920. And if we talk about the chipset, we have chipset from MediaTek over here, whereas on E7 we have the chipset from Qualcomm, and again the overall gaming performance is going to be definitely better. Let me just show you the benchmark scores for both of these phones so that you can get an idea as far as benchmarks are concerned for these two devices. So as far as the benchmark scores are concerned, we have Antutu benchmark score for both of these devices, and you can easily see the difference in between the scores. The score is not even half, but it is double the score which we have got on E6, which we have got on E7. So again, in terms of the overall benchmarks, this device is definitely much higher as compared to E6. As far as the other scores are concerned, if we take a look over the Ninamark scores, so we have the Ninamark scores as well for both of these devices. Let me show you the Ninamark score for this one as well. As far as the scores which we have got for the Ninamark, we can easily see the difference over here. We have got a score of 34.4 FPS on E6, whereas we have got a score of 63.0 FPS, which is one of the best score which we have seen on Ninamark for this device. So again, there is a lot of difference as far as the benchmark score for the gaming is concerned, and same goes for the quadrant standard as well. On quadrant standard as well, we have got a score of you can say we have actually got a very good score of 20415. I don't know whether you can read it, but I'm just reading it for you. And this device scores around 3000 approximately in terms of the overall scores on the quadrant. So again, you have a major difference over here as well. So the last thing I would like to compare in between these two devices is the camera, and let me just show you the comparison as far as camera is concerned. And let me just launch the camera UI. So again, we have the different camera applications on these two devices. So as far as these two devices are concerned, we have different cameras, which is a 13 megapixel camera which we have on this device, whereas we have a 16 megapixel camera on the back side of this device. The front camera is 5 megapixel and here it is 8 megapixel. And let me just take the photo of the same object over here from both of these devices from the camera UI and show you the same. So here we have the first device, and let me just take this photo as of now. So again, we have just taken this photo, and let me take this photo from this device as well. So this is how the photo looks like on both of these devices. Let me just show you. So in terms of the overall details, I would say this photo is slightly better as compared to this one, in which you can see some amount of grains, but again both of these photos in terms of the details is pretty good. You have slightly better details because you have a larger size photo on this device, and when it comes to the colors are fairly good on both of these phones as far as the camera is concerned. You can easily compare the difference in between these two photos. Again, this photo is a little bit different because it has been captured from a different angle, and this one has been captured from a different angle. Let me just take the photo from the same angle as of now. So if we have the camera UI over here, and let me just take the photo again to show you the main photo in the same way so that you can easily compare them. So this is how we can capture this photo. So once we capture this photo, this is how it will look like, and now you can easily compare the photo quality in between these two displays. So this is how the overall camera quality differs. The camera is definitely good on both of these devices, but again there is a slight difference in the colors or in the number of pixels which you see within the final image. So that's all from us as far as the full hands-on comparison or the quick hands-on comparison basically in between the Gionee Elife E7 and E6. Do let us know if you have any specific question for any of these two devices. We would love to help you. As far as the overall form factor is concerned, the Elife E6 feels slightly lighter as compared to the E7. Again, this device is bigger in terms of the display size, and in terms of the weight it is slightly heavier as compared to E6, but again not very heavy. In terms of the build quality, both of these are good, but again this one has a glossy finish, this one has a matte finish to it. So that's all from us as far as the quick comparison between these two devices are concerned. Do let us know if you have any specific question for any of these two devices. We would love to help you. You can like this video if this video helped you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.